Bhí McCarthy an sliotar a bhogó na agus a bhúla, become an Roisiar an Dalamh nó na Láimh nó san air.
Coming to Gerald McCarthy. And Gerald nicely setting a dummy there. Shot from McCarthy. And a beautiful point from Gerald McCarthy.
Krog. An Laochra agus an Krog ar fad. An stíl immer ha bhíige simplí, díreach agus éfachtach.
Gerald McCarthy, and Gerald sends it over for the lead for Cork again, his second point of the game.
You liked to have him on your side. He was a fearless player, very dependable, and a great spirit and a great heart. And when you have somebody like that, you won't go far wrong.
In 1966 heis gorta fada chrá omoníthe chorca chluifi canis na héireann don géadúir le deimlíonna. Bhí fear ógas cumann mhar an ífa Gerald McCarthy na chaiptí narthop.
We were like a bunch of young lads up to Dublin to see the zoo or something like that. We sang the whole way on the bus, the whole way out to Croke Park.
He took the captaincy in great style, I mean, for a young player. And that showed his maturity as well, I would say.
Sure, I was only a young lad trying to get my place in the team, so maybe I could have done without it, all right, you know. But, you know, I worked through it, and I don't think it affected me that badly, really.
And another shot by John Bennett. And there goes the final whistle.
And the final whistle blew. It was mayhem broke loose, really.
And the crowd absolutely tumbling into the field. Gerald McCarthy, the captain, coming up to receive the Gael McCarthy Cup.
It was very emotional, absolutely. I couldn't believe the sea of red faces, the excitement and the cheering.
So Gerry McCarthy holds the Liam McCarthy Cup high.
It was unbelievable, unbelievable.
Ní bháin na síd ach bhí Gerald in na chaiptí ar bhfuil an faoimh léon agus ficha má.
It was certainly a great, great honour to captain the under-21 and the senior team.
Casadar ar Laochra sa Cluiche Canis agus críochníar ar cóscóir gáúirí níga céile an trío úr bhí an buaigh Corcaí agus bhí sár cluiche sa Cluiche Canis go mórmhór an trío úr ag Gerald McCarthy.
So the future looked very, very bright, and people were saying, God, Cork are going to be there for the next few years.
Ach ní mar a híiltear a bítear agus bheith trí bliain an solas roithidíise chluifi ceanna sé ríist agus a freasú a céanna cilcha ní lehab.
We were beset by injuries. Justin McCarthy had an accident, broke his leg a week or so before the final. I normally played midfield and I was playing left half back that day. Things went very well for me that day. As a matter of fact, it probably was one of the best displays that I had given in a Cork jersey in an All-Ireland final. We had a good lead in the game, but we never pushed home the advantage. When it's over and you're beaten, you just want to crawl out of Croke Park, really.
Bhí deise go brudí chun na cheart an bhliain dar gíon, an tám seo, an Laochra.
We were very determined, having lost in '69, that we would win this one.
Had the short pass to Dave Burney.
Bhí an cuireann idir é féin agus Dave Burney an bhliain sin.
The referee has awarded a free against Gerald McCarthy. Dave Burney put his hand up for the ball and he sort of knocked from putting his hand up, but it's not in the nature of Gerald McCarthy to do a nasty stroke.
Bhí Gerald in an a cumad ag bogus, bé sin an bhí sé an tréin ar an sitar.
Ja balla tríd darna le glufi canis níideag seachtú dó. Bhí cumann am hasar chorca.
Across the would-be pass over the far side of Kieran Purcell, but it's on Roach. Way up the field, O'Connor set it over the bar.
That put us 8 points in the lead, and that was our last score for the game.
We couldn't sustain it. And when Kilkenny came back at us, which they normally would anyhow, we had no resistance.
Here he comes, he's going for the goal. And he's got it! Fred Cummins going soaring up the field now. He's on the 50. It's 40, it's 30, it's 21, it's a shot, and it's a goal!
We had the experience of 69 behind us, a lot of us, that shouldn't have happened again, you know.
In níideag seachtú cúig, capú Laochra Lui, Christy Ring, mar ronar le corca.
He really had a great insight into the game, and I can remember the thought that Ringy would focus on things, you know, to get them right.
Chud hín chéad scrúdú mór Ring agus chorca sa glufi canis in níideag seachtú sé.
And it is a goal! Pat McDonald comes out to Martin quickly to Tony Jordan, and Jordan's shot, and Martin Coldham saves it. Martin quickly comes back in again, and this is a...
We were shocked at the start. There were 2 goals and 2 points up within 8 minutes.
Pat Moylan.
An stíle bhí a Cork division níos tapúla agus, you know, sa deir a bhí sé níos éifeachtaí.
Bhí rud fíle ag fearn Corcaigh, bhí anna untíomh acu as tú féin, agus lean siad a gimmert is a gimmert.
Gerald McCarthy. How did he get that one? Pat Moylan.
Slowly but surely we got back into that game, and indeed by half-time we were level, due mainly to a magnificent display by Pat Moylan that day in the middle of the field.
Bhí mé sé ag siúil ar an taobh líne agus bhí Christy Ring agus bhí Mick Jacob gimmar go húntaach. Cúig sé ar dlún amháin chun sos beaga a thugáil. De Rick Christie go dtí Jimmy Brahan agus de bhéadh sé tá Jacob ag dul í dirseach caithfí tú Jimmy Barry Murphy a chur ann. Agus rinne siad an aistriú sin.
Jimmy Barry Murphy gets the shot, and it's gone over the bar for a point. Another one by Jimmy Barry Murphy, and there goes the final whistle. And the All-Ireland champions are Cork.
In níideag seachtú seacht bhí Loch Garman le hobaríist agus fáí blesáú ag corca. Cecha I bhfuil ó díos tionchar Mick Jacob.
Bhí sé ceantas na lechúlathe lár is fearr sa tír, gan dát le fada. Agus anna éifeachta go deo, agus is cosúil gur cha rónóirí chorchaí cuidhá hama ag smaoine faoi sin, agus thochraigh siad ar Gerald a chur isteachchan sin mar lethúsaí lár.
I think Christy Ring played a big part in it because when I was selected to play centre forward, I was a bit surprised really because I had never played there before.
Yes, Gerald McCarthy getting the ball.
I had strict instructions really that day to keep the ball out of Mick Jacob's hand, under the high balls, to keep it out of his hands by just flicking the ball on for 10-15 yards.
Knocked away from Mick Jacob there by Gerald McCarthy.
I concentrated on doing that, and I found it gave me great confidence when it came off me.
De bhí lámh úntaach ag Mick Jacob, bhí sé I measc na himmarthirí a bear chun grain a áil san air ar sliotar. Ach níor lig Gerald dó é dhéanamh cóhéasca is a bhí sé ná de gná.
Gerald McCarthy shapes up to take the free on the 50-yard line. And he sent it over the bar. Another point, 3 for Gerald McCarthy.
He was never like looking around who's going to do it. You know, I'm going to do it. And I thought that day in particular that one of those days that he shone above the rest.
Now there are 2 points between them.
Bhí páirt fíle ag Gerald san bua sin.
McCarthy to take the free. Over the bar, a point now to increase that lead as Gerald gets his 6th point of the game. I think the game is over. And Cork has won their 23rd All-Ireland title.
Bhí Shervon ile éireann grúte ag Gerald, ach ní sé roi fós.
Wood's heart is in this picture more than in any other picture he ever made, I think.
The Innisfree.
Innisfree. You see that road over there?
Yeah.
Well, don't take that one. It'll do you no good.
It is poetry. God gave the Irish the words, the Italians the music. I said, okay.
They were all in love with the one thing, Ireland. It was a love affair.
Fui yasa ag the quiet man. Take care the ag lehor treasure mai TG cash.
Surely the point of paying for comprehensive car insurance is to avoid paying for a bunch of other stuff, like getting your windscreen replaced, or a breakdown rescue, or replacing your car with a better one if it gets written off. So if you're getting comprehensive car insurance, take a good look at how comprehensive it really is.
For fully comprehensive car insurance from only €274, contact Liberty Insurance. Car, home or van, it's insurance the way it should be.
Some people just don't want you to know about the Volkswagen Classic service or the free 12 months roadside assistance. Just €149 at your local Volkswagen service centre.
Hello. You've been on it ages. Sharing is caring, you know. Fine. Because my mom says when we get home, I'm getting yummy ice cream and chocolate sauce and loads of extra sprinkles. Ah, sprinkles.
Lidl. Choose to live a little.
It made me go from a gossip to a man.
Someday, Captain and brothers that we would stand in this country as Irishmen. They say I'm a fool and I'm dreaming. Well, maybe I am dreaming today, but I'm no fool.
God gave the Irish the words, the Italians the music. I said, okay.
They were all in love with the one thing, Ireland.
Here are these men casually eating their lunch who are sort of part of the heart and soul and the brain and the brawn of that city.
Irish bastards.
Get close to the wall.
I'd like to kill the bloody lot of them.
Will!
General Sean Russell.
Good to see you. The lads are delighted you finally made it out of Spain.
In 1968 bhí Corca Hóireann tríú críomhla éireann as a chéile, thug do ráir chun den chláir, a bhí faoi steward Justin McCarthy, ar chumrádaí imire Gerald McCarthy.
We had the chance, we felt as a group of players to really do something that hadn't been done since the 50s by Cork.
Clare feel the same team as they fielded in the first half. They're down by 2 points, but they now play with a strong wind.
Sometimes it's easier to play into a strong wind. You can find more room in the forward line.
For Ray Cummins. Cork still trying to open up the play as Ray Cummins picks off a glorious point there. And there it is. John Maloney blows the full-time whistle as Cork win their 36th Munster title.
We were put to the pin of our corner to win that day, and it was a brilliant win when we got there. We knew that we were pretty on course to maybe do 3 in a row.
Le na bhóchan te gomicint a chun trí chin a chur le chéide tá sé sin go húnta gur fadar fad.
Heistú IDS yn ymwrst y siachtw na I chwysel y heliwnoriwch, dogys eir y teifline yn ei diagochtw do, ond lle dwy'r ele, gwrymir corca y dda môr.
We had a good enough start, but I think the whole thing turned on a high lobbing ball to Christy Heffernan.
I was going to say all alone, but not for long. A goal!
It changed that whole game. Changed the whole game.
Dangerous ball. Ger penalty. A goal! A goal! The icing in the Kilkenny cake.
At that time, the setup was really that the Cork County Board picked the selectors, and then the selectors picked the coach, which meant that there was no place on the selection committee for the coach. He had no vote. And I found it very hard to work under that. So when I was asked to stay on in 83, I wouldn't unless I was a selector. I was glad I made a stand in it because it was changed pretty soon after that.
For sé chéad fust banistíocht de idir chundé, níl na chundé dúchas ach leis na córsain, Portláige.
Bhí smacht anna hábhachtach ina aigine, agus nar a chuisteach I bhfuil ar Portláige. Bhí daoine ag rá beidir go mbeadh deacrachtaí a Gael le cuidas na himráí ann. Agus, rinne sé gachaíire chun córas nua, córas crú a beidir a chuirí bhaim orthú ó thaobh tréála de.
What I was trying to do was get them together as a team, because they certainly weren't thinking like a team.
Agus y miúl na blian an eich hocht, ro Portláige cluffi canis na môn an ein chláid. Agus bhí plan edle heag Gerald, agus a chud raunori.
We were certainly intent on being upfront about everything on the sideline that day. We were there to support our lads. We were giving them every bit of support we could from the sideline. I think Clare were surprised by that, yeah.
Mas a rud a go bhfuil tú istigh seomra festis agus a rá an rud seo dhéanamh agus an rud sinna dhéanamh. Well, órántá chafa a heaspaint go bhfuil tú féin réig chun rudaí mar sinna dhéanamh freisin, agus ní léon dát ach gur thug sé ceannasaíocht íontach.
But here it is!
I think we were very unlucky. Paul Flynn had a great chance from a very long-range free that just drifted a whisker outside the post. That would have given us the win.
Bhí atmosfér níomhneach san ehimar teacht an éisisin, fiú solar hosan chlufe.
You see, both sets of selectors were given instructions by the Munster Council at the sideline that we were to sit down in our seats for the start of the game. So we took up our seats in the sideline, but Clare, they were standing up, and the referee left where he was ready to throw in the ball and came over and spoke to them to get them back in, but they weren't going anywhere. I think that set the tone for the mayhem that ensued at the throw-in.
There was drama even before the start here at Semper Stadium because referee Willie Barrett from Tipperary went over to have a word with one of the Clare mentors, and there are strict guidelines today on pitch incursions. It'll be fascinating to see how that works out. James O'Connor, lovely little run. Great block by Brian Green, but it comes to Niall Gilligan. Will he take his point to go for a goal? Daly lifts the Munster Cup for the third time.
We knew that we had a game coming up with Galway in the quarter-final of the All-Ireland. It was something to work towards, and we did that, and I think the display against Galway in that quarter-final was one of the best displays that the team gave.
Here's Dave Bennett, skipping by. Bennett, good shot, that's a great goal. Gerald McCarthy has done really well coming back from losing a final, but he did it superbly.
Agus in sin a glufi lechanis na héireann na córsain, il chunne agus Gerald Finry héis glufi canis na mún.
I was confined to the stand, and I think that certainly didn't help the lads.
Paul Flynn striking the free, battered down.
We had plenty possession, plenty opportunities, but just couldn't find the room to get the vital scores.
Paul Flynn shot! Oh, it's just got outside, so close. the one that got away.
Ní raibh cholín amháin atar a go deire. Ní dóilm go bhfuil Portlarga seans níos fearr go ceannaí bhad chun créamh a bhainteach námar a fórsiad an bblion san.
Cha sé 3 bliana eile leis na déise, a chainneáine chréin díhal ní ra éon ráthir a déibre agus déidir sé sa gáhílig sa híon.
I felt that they needed a new voice anyway, that they were capable of improving, getting to a higher level, but it was going to take somebody else to get them up there.
Chabhraigh sé go mór lena daoine a tháinig in íag mar bhanistóirí Fort Larga freisin.
Waterford benefited from his presence and from his style and the way he did things. And he gave them respect which they had to have, which before that wasn't the case.
Danú bhí a gréime gáhílig sa seacht agus é bhail a chundéid dúchas héin.
Certainly I would not have got back involved with the Cork setup in 2007 if I knew where I was going to lead to and the strife and trouble that I was going to cause. Very quickly, myself and the selectors discovered that there was a lot more involved behind the scenes. It was a period where the GPA were trying to establish themselves really, to further their aims, to show the association as a whole what they could do if they didn't get recognised. And I think that was one of the elements behind the scenes. I certainly felt that there was a change of direction maybe needed and that maybe it'll change the style of play just a little bit, that it was necessary. If you're a kind of a one-trick pony, you are going to be found out, you are going to be stopped eventually. And what I was trying to do was to get players to get a different aspect to their play, to vary their play a bit. I wasn't saying that you shouldn't run with the ball. Running with the ball is a powerful part in hurling, but I certainly felt that we shouldn't be running with the ball every time we got it.
Beidir go raibh sé géirí an stíl athrú agus níor haithinn sin leis na himráirí. Well, bhíidir tar éis gá créamh a bhóchant leis an stíl eile.
Bhí míáid chorc go gáhílig sa seacht nuair a cháil sé d'imirt go chlufiú cearú ceannis na héireann in éid Fort Láirge agus meas gan dá stíl ás a deaca banis.
It seemed to be working a little bit, and facing into 2008, we were happy enough that, things were going in the right direction.
Breaking ball comes out and squeezes it past Kieran Murphy, past Ben O'Connor, and that's a lovely point.
Chuidir céim níos fuide gáhílig sa hocht, ach bhí Kilchunne róá rob sa glufi leithceannis.
Kilkenny stifled us. They produced the hurling, classy hurling when they needed to. They got the vital scores. They were a better team on the day, there was no doubt about that.
It's Kilkenny who are en route to the All-Ireland final yet again.
It was the end, really, of our reign at that stage. So I thanked them for their effort and wished them all the very best in the future.
Níos dearnaíon bhliain sin, dír fochaiste bhí bhail ceapachan in bhainisteora Gerald, seasa go chréibh seile.
When they came back to me to ask me would I let my name go forward, I said, was there any objections? They then told me that there was no great objection from the players. There was no objection. They never objected to it at that stage. So when I heard that, I said, well, if that's the case, I'll let my name stand.
Ach, níor an na himneir í sásta leis a bróisis a cheapachan, agus dúilta siad imirt faoi Gerald mar bhainisteoir.
Ceapas go mbeadh sin níos fearr de Gerald féin éirí as nuair a bhí an Aragán tarsúlíidir a féin agus na himreathirí. Mas rud go mín na himreathirí iad a chuineh caiithú éirí as. Tá airthú take ar meán agus ar eagna imreathirí agus tá sí bhfad níos sacra inis.
Thaíonn duine eile agus na héachtaí go léir rinne sé ar son an chlub agus ar son an chónta. Ba ceart an na himreathirí I bhfad níos mó measa a bheittheá mar ghuine, ní hamháin mar bhainisteoir.
It was disgraceful that a man of such, ability, character, background, hurling, knowledge, that he was very treated.
The final straw really came when I was out of the country and a phone call was made to my home. My kids got it with a death threat for me if I didn't step down as coach. And to be quite honest, I was shocked at that. My father, who was a great hurling man himself, came to me and he said, Gerald, just get out of that job. He said, just get out of it. So he said, you know, it's causing too much hassle for the family and to step down. So I did. There were certain untruths being put out in the public domain that, you know, that I had contrived the situation with a death threat and so that I could step down. But, you know, I was disappointed that I had to step down. Hurling is too precious a game to have things like this happen to people involved in it. I don't think any hurling man should have to put up with things like that.
Honey Kriachorana le Shervish Yilish Funchoge, She Blianagus Haas score V Tucker, Egg Gerald McCarthy go Horka.
Look at that old photograph. Is it really you?
A hurler who gave of his best in every game he played. That's what I would like to be remembered as.
Éan uair a bheith caint le tosathe Corcaigh. No, if you want tosathe chuman néfiún baran seo. Bheith siad abalta rá gur chur Gerald an sliotar isteach go tapig agus go héifiachtach an tón go léir chomh.
I'd respect that man, you know, for what he's done, what he's achieved, the player that he was, and his contribution to the game.
Bhí sé ná a bhúla go tapig san air, go tapigar an dálamh agus asad lic freisin.
You live all your life as a kid to dream about All-Irelands, and when it happens, is it worth it? You bet your bottom dollar.
Age come on.